Hello, my name's Andrew Laws and welcome to this week's edition of The Filter. I have to say this every week, but if you're listening to this on a podcast or you're watching it on YouTube or another video channel, then I'm not going to give you the links in the description. The only way to get the links to the articles I'm about to discuss is to subscribe to The Filter. But that's really easy. You can do that by going to yeseo.io/The Filter. Right, on with the show. 3 stories this week because I think they are all worth paying attention to. The first one is about Google being slightly patronising, a shock, I know, but in America, if you search for flights, Google will say, do you think you might want to consider a train so you don't damage the planet so much? Now, I'm being a bit kind of silly about this, but I'm included the link to it for a really good point. Google has the power to make seismic shifts in perception and public behaviour. And this is why we sort of very warily keep half an eye on what Google are up to. This thing doesn't particularly affect us in the UK yet, but Google has a knack of rolling things out, and it's just one of those things that we keep an eye on. Next story is going to cause some eyeball rolling to any of my friends who also work in SEO and digital marketing. It's almost become a meme that people say, oh, TikTok's the new search engine. It's not. But in America, it looks like they're making a bid to be the next Amazon, which is wild. But again, I'm including this because it shows what companies with phenomenal amounts of investment behind them are trying to do to shape the way people use the web, and this always trickles down and affects us, essentially. Last article, it's yet another Semrush article because they're generally very good. At this stage, I should probably just tell you to go and subscribe to Semrush because the articles are great. This is one of their stats roundups that they do periodically, and I found this really interesting. I've listed some of the most interesting stats in the email. The biggest one for me is that over 40% of people, or 40% of searchers online have local intent. Now what this means is that 40% of searchers are people looking for things that are near them. That might be in their country, it might be in their city, town, whatever, but that's surprisingly high. I would not expect it to be anything like that, but it's a good article, and even if you just whiz through it, I think it's worth having a look. These stats articles, I find them really interesting because quite often it's American stats, so it kind of gives us like a year's worth of notice for how things might change over here, or probably less than that actually. Right, finally, the meme. I thought that was quite funny. Anyway, 2023 was great. I'm really looking forward to the changes that are happening in 2024. Big part of the kick I get out of SEO is seeing how it changes, seeing how it evolves. It's never the same for more than a few days, hours sometimes. Anyway, that's the end of this week's edition of The Filter. Remember to go to yeseo.io/The Filter to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Crack on.